as soon as Judy's done talking to Donna over there, we'll be able to get her here. But they are on an intense conversation.
Yeah.
And I think what it is it's about they're building strategy for how Judy can get this next group to $1,000 match before faster than Donna and Lynn did. That's what I'm guessing, because she's really good about that.
I'm kind of thinking that might be the case.
But, Judy, why don't you grab me a stool so I can sit down? Because I'm really tired. And thank you, Judy. And
I don't think it's for you, Scott.
This is
Have
Judy.
a seat.
Welcome, Judy McClure. How you doing today?
Let me get, I'm going to, here you go.
Go double it up.
If you're going to put me on the spot, I'm going to be comfortable.
Well, I'm going to give Judy the microphone so we're not doing it.
That's just fine. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. See, she's used to this because she sits down a lot and plays the piano. You know, come to think of it, we should have had you bring your baby grand here.
That would have been cool.
And we could have had you play a few.
Yeah, you know what? We've talked about maybe hosting some Christmas parties around here, bring the piano in and, have a little sing-along and all that kind of stuff. That'd be fun.
I mean, that thing packs up real tight, right? You can take it apart, bring it in,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful piano.
Oh, yeah.
But earlier, Dr. Rogers and Donna were talking about the North American Bear Center in Northwoods Ecology Hall. And I can tell you from 3.5 years ago to today, there isn't much that we haven't touched and changed. Correct?
That is absolutely correct.
I mean, we had a redesign of our backgrounds on all of our posters.
The last 2 winters, while the Cubs and the Bears are out there sleeping, we're in here tearing this place apart and then putting it back together. And always there's things last minute, hurry, get it done. We're running out of time. But we've always made our deadline. So
yeah, and that's kind of how it goes. You push and you push and you push, and all of a sudden you come down to the last 2 weeks, and that's when most gets done.
It is. It really
always
is.
worked that way.
Yeah, the last few weeks, it's like gangbusters. It was that way from before we opened the Bear Center in 2007. Going way back that far, I was a volunteer, and I lived about 4.5 hours away from here. And I can remember coming up about 3 days before they opened the Bear Center, and I mean, we were working till midnight every night, and we were just pushing to get this place ready to open.
Oh, I didn't know you were willing to work that late.
Oh, well, that's
really, we're gonna be, our deadline's gonna be met much faster. Now that I know that,
I was a little younger then.
Yes, yeah, a little. Yeah, but no, really, I mean, we decided that we were gonna go with a theme for all of the backgrounds on all of our posters and displays and with all of our information. And I remember when I told you, Judy, we need to reprint all these and put them with the new background, and you were like, all of them? And I'm like, all of them.
You've got to be kidding.
And I got to tell you something. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
We got all of them done. The Bear Center's got a nice, soft, warm feeling. Stuff is laid out nice. We still got some operational things to change, so we've got more of a process and a pattern for people to walk through. But what do you think?
Well, it does look like 1,000% different than it did in 2007. And over the last 5 years, I can honestly say the improvements are phenomenal, and they continue.
Yep, and that's what's fun about it. If I love change in certain areas, and change is good. And as long as you keep things moving forward, you're not going backwards. And that's what we need to keep doing, and that's why the Cub Room is so important to us now. And this $1,000 match is out there.
Well, let's go, you guys. Come on, let's get some more funds rolling here, and let's try and get that $1,000 match in the next hour. I don't know if he's going to make me sit here on the stool for an hour, but on the hot seat. Judy said it's a hot seat. It's going to get hotter and hotter as the hour goes by.
Oh, boy.
But,
this is, 50 minutes. I don't know how I do this.
Come on, everybody out there. I hope there's a lot of you in anywhere from the Central Standard Time going to the West, that are still up and motivating and awake and perky and out there listening to us. And
the East Coast is getting a little later.
Yeah, it's true.
And the West Coast is a little earlier.
There's some night owls,
I
that
know.
live around
I'm
here,
not one of those, believe me.
Oh, me neither.
I'm a very early to bed and early riser.
No, the Cub Room, I haven't been in on a lot of the conversations of the Cub Room, the new Cub Room ideas, but the few that I have heard are really, really fabulous. And the kids are going to love them. There'll be some state-of-the-art stuff going on in there that nobody around here has, and the ideas out there are just fabulous. I'm an educator because I'm a piano teacher, so I've taught kids from 4 years of age until I think I had one lady that was in her 80s taking lessons. So, but all my younger piano students, they're like my grandkids, so I just love them to death, and the effort they put in is great. And when the kids come in here and you can hear them squealing and you hear the excitement and you see the parents in the Cub Room with them, the parents are learning right along with the kids, and that's pretty exciting. A lot of the use that I've seen on our interactive TV screens, educational ones that are out in our ecology hall now, I often see parents sitting there with their children and they're discussing, what they're seeing on the screen and having conversations. That's what's going to happen in the Cub Room once we get those interactive, screens going in there.
You should see, we got a preview of the game today.
I did
it's the
see
first
that.
time
I
I've
was
seen
watching
it. You did
from
see
home.
it?
I did.
It is. It is amazing.
I was in between piano lessons.
I'm excited about it. I was a little bit like, I know this group that's working on it. I'm thinking they're going to produce something awesome, but I'm for some reason thinking it's going to be for a Rhodes Scholar, and it's going to be boring. And all of a sudden they show me this thing, and I'm like, wow. It is really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for the kids.
It is. They have done a bang-up job.
Yep.
They really have.
And you talked about your grandson. You talked about your grandson Carter. Talk about. Yeah, I mean, you know the kids that we're talking about. What do you think about?
I think that my grandson Carter's going to love it. He is. He's going to be one of those that's going to get on it. Kids at that age, 6 years old, 5 years old. Heck, I think he was running one of those. I forget what they even call the game that he had, leapfrog or leapfrog or something like that, or frog something. And he was playing that like crazy. So these younger generation kids, they can really play this stuff. And I'm certain that your grandkids, you know where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, even my grandkids.
Donna knows where we're coming from. They are really connected to this kind of stuff.
They know how to make everything work.
But they still like to have fun.
Absolutely.
And they like to play.
And even with the teaching that I do, when you make it fun and you laugh with your students and you have a good time, they're learning a lot at the same time, and you're building their enthusiasm for what they're doing and what they're learning. So a lot of those kids, you're probably going home. We've had a lot of parents that have stopped at the front desk, pick up our little cards on the way out with our web address, bear.org, because they want their kids to continue learning and follow up on that when they get back home. So I think the new Cub Room is going to even more focus on that, where you're going to see a lot more interest and in keeping up with our updates and what we're going to have online. So.
Right. Well, and we've had a lot of fun, interesting challenges over the last few years, and some that I've been involved in, and some of the things that we've had to accomplish was not always with the. We haven't always felt the best. We really haven't. We've been through some struggles with different things, and some life-changing events, I would say. And we've got one standing here that I am sitting here right now, and she can stand, believe me.
I can.
But I am very, 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 very proud of the fact that she has battled through some times with strong faith and been able to accomplish the things that we have here with some very, very interesting situations, to say the least. Correct?
Very interesting. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Well, that I leave up to you. But honestly, I mean, it just, the love put into the work that she does and is going to do for the Cub Room has been challenging. And a few years back it wasn't as challenging. And Judy's been fighting something for a while now, and she's succeeding.
Yep. Well.
Right?
Yep. A lot of you folks out there that are the Lily fans have read some of the updates that even Doc has done. I contracted cancer about 3 years ago and have been fighting with that. We started out with some surgery, lots and lots of chemo. I go back to surgery for my second cancer surgery.
You do.
25 days from today. And hopefully they'll get it all again, and I'll be up and rolling and feeling much better. But this place is a passion with me, and as it is with these two standing next to me, it's really a passion. We want to share this with everyone in the world we can share the news of these bears with. So another little interesting fact, earlier Doc was talking about Ray Thielbar, who has done an incredible job with our signage and things around here. I just came from church before I came here. Ray Thielbar was there even at this time of night.
Wow.
We're getting ready for that Thanksgathering program, and he likes to babysit that like nobody else.
How old is Ray?
In his 80s, but
in
I can't
his 80s,
say
right.
exactly. I don't know for
in
sure.
In his 80s, and he's had some...
And he has dealt with many very serious health issues.
Yes.
And so,
and still managed to make signs for us.
Yep.
And do a lot for the Bear Center.
Yep. So for those in Ely, if there's anybody here listening, the Thanksgathering is this Sunday night at 6 o'clock. And yes, I will be playing for it, but there's going to be a lot of really fun people from all the various churches around. So something I like to do.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, but I'll tell you what, again, looking at the work that we've done and accomplished, and the pictures you've hung up and the patience you've had, with Lynn being very, very particular on how you put things up, and you and him actually having some fun back and forth battles. It's been pretty cool. But we wouldn't be there without Give to the Max Day.
Absolutely.
We would not. And we got a $1,000 match out there.
Grow the way we've grown.
No. Yep. And I think it's time we mention that $1,000 match again.
Yep.
Again,
double your money.
Right. And if maybe you only got $20.
But it's 40.
It becomes 40.
Right.
And we don't want to leave a match on the table where
we
can't meet. Because someone's offering it up if the rest of us would match
it's free money, kind of. They say there's no free lunch, but doggone it, it's sitting there. And if we've got people out there that are willing to just keep plugging a few bucks in here and there, it's going to grow, and pretty soon we'll get to that $1,000.
Well, the funny thing is if it's something that I'm doing, and I think like Judy says, gee, I've only got $20, and it's not going to really do much for him. Yeah, it is. It's $40.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, Judy, it's $40. It is. And if it's $100, it's $200. And believe me, if we don't get the 1,000, we're not going to get the whole 1,000. That's how it works. No. If we don't, they match up to $1,000. If we only get $800, that's what they give us, $800. They're generous. They're very, very generous, but they're saying, hey, I've got a match here. I've got a challenge, and I'm willing to do up to this much if they're willing to. And we did the other one in 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah, about that. Yeah.
And we did the $500 one in that period earlier today when everybody was
around 12, 1
maybe
o'clock.
Working. Yeah,
that was pretty quick, over quick lunch, actually.
Right. And, some of our Cub Room updates, like you had talked about, Judy, the mechanics and the workings and the things that we're going to do for layout, Judy may not be involved in that part of it yet, but what ends up happening is ultimately we get it all laid out and then we say, here you go.
Put it together.
Do what you got to do to make it look good. And then I go get a drink of water, and then I'm all stress released. And I walk away, and Judy's got that look. And she's like, you're kidding me, right? And we're like, no. And we laugh,
I like a challenge, too. And now we're giving you guys. You guys have a challenge.
Yes.
We need you to meet that challenge so we can do what we want to do in here for the kids.
Yeah, and we got a lot of pressure, Judy, because Donna and Lynn were able to get that done in 40 minutes.
Come on,
and
guys,
you being
don't
a piano player and a pilot before,
yep.
you know how to guide and you know how to fly, right?
I do.
So we need you guys to help her guide and fly.
Fly
right?
high.
Should we call in Donna just for
Soar
some help?
Eagles. Maybe we should.
Yeah, because she's looking like she really wants to say something.
Looking way too comfortable over there.
Yeah, I think she's over all the other events.
Come on, Donna. Come on up here.
She looks like she's so free of stress.
Come on,
now.
I'm going to share my microphone with you.
What we're going to do, Judy, is we're going to let these two handle the next $1,000 match, and we're going to take a break.
Come on. Oh, no. Well, Donna, you might as well pull up a chair here.
Okay. Well, I did.
We're going to see how good you guys can do.
Come on, guys.
I did want to mention some of Lynn's research that I've had a part of that no one knows that he's done because he hasn't written all the papers yet. But he used to study deer, and he would follow the deer through the woods to see what they really ate.
Checking the microphones here, make sure we're still live. Okay.
To see what they really ate, because no one knew what deer ate. I think they used to take them out on leashes. And he thought, if I got them used to me and I followed them, I would find out what they really eat and what they really do. And so he did that for years and found out amazing things. And then when he got into the bear research, he thought, wonder if I could do that with bears.
Give it a try.
And he did give it a try.
Yeah.
And he has come up with such incredible studies. As far as the den cam, no one will ever be able to do the den cam like he did, because people are afraid of bears, or there's rules, and there's so many reasons that they couldn't follow what he's done, because he's used his brain to think of what's the best way to learn about bears, and that's to walk with them. And so I think the things that he's found out, no one else will ever be able to find out those details.
You're absolutely right, Donna. The research that Lynn has done in his 50 years is groundbreaking, truly groundbreaking. Without that, there would have never been this bear center in any way, shape, or form. So, yes, he has thought outside the box all his life. And here we've got something absolutely awesome, to educate with. And the plans that we have for education outside of the Bear Center are there. Our classroom is looking wonderful. We've gotten that stocked this year with tables and chairs and the screen up on the big wall. And we're getting closer and closer to bringing in more groups, more school groups. And I think the word will spread on that, for, when they go out on their field trips and things in the spring. That's going to spread kind of like the word has spread. Oh, you got to stop at the Bear Center. You won't believe what it looks like. Aha, we got an update coming.
$600 left in the match.
Whoa, there's only got 400. We've just, yay, 600 to go. We got 400 already. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't let us ladies down. We need your support. We kind of got abandoned here by those two, so it's you and me, kid.
That's okay. Hey, we can talk about them now.
There you go. And what's been keeping them on their feet all this time, I have no idea. In previous years, they sat behind the desk, a great deal at a time and talked. Right. And this year, man, they're on their feet all the time. So I know what that's like. That's why I'm sitting on a stool, because it's hard for me to be on my feet that long at a time. But I'm happy to sit and talk.
Yeah.
What should we talk about next?
Well, we went over some of that research information, and let's see, what else has he done? I think the den cam, finding out the things that cubs do in the dens.
That was really fascinating.
To have a video of that, so incredible. Who would have guessed that cubs run around the mother's head? They're so anxious to get out. They've got energy, and they can't get out because there's snow. And she lays there like, oh man, I can't wait till spring.
Think about that poor mother bear and how little sleep she must get in the wintertime.
Yeah.
When, a normal bear would be sleeping most of the winter time. And then she's coming out of the den in the spring, and she's got to keep track of them little critters, and
so difficult.
Oh my gosh. But yes, Lynn's den cams were just amazing. And, if the people that are watching know how much attention it got when it hit worldwide. It crashed, our computer because it was so popular. The number one search item that people were looking for, and just phenomenal. Where this Bear Center is gone from the time that I came into this scenario, which I actually met Lynn and Donna in 2004. And from the displays they had downtown in their storefronts and things like that to what we have here tonight is like just phenomenal. So keep those donations coming. Man, I'll be really sad if we can't hit our $1,000. I will have failed. We don't want to do that. Come on, help Donna and I out here. This guy, Scott's walking around with a pizza box. I haven't had supper yet, Scott. Truly, I haven't. I haven't eaten. No, I went right from teaching at home over to church, and then I went back and gave a lesson, went back to church for rehearsals, and then I came here. So, yeah, I don't think I'll faint. I've got plenty of fat to live on for a while, so we'll be okay. It is absolutely a thrill for me to work with Dr. Rogers as close as we do. The time that we spend looking at the exhibits and updating them and saying things in a clearer, more precise way. Right now, I'm pushing him a little bit because we want to get more information into our big animal exhibits that are in the ecology hall. We've got a big, beautiful moose in there, and we've got a caribou, and we've got deer. Now, most people that live up in this area are pretty familiar with the deer, but not so much on the caribou and the great big old moose, Mr. Moose. So I'm pushing a little bit, trying to help a little bit with gathering information that he can put into a poster and add whatever he knows in addition to it to create more things that will be in there for this summer and the spring when we open up again. So that's just a joy. And I'm learning as I go because some of the things I come up with, of course, I didn't even know. So it makes my job very, very interesting. It's different every day. It's a challenge. I never would have thought of myself as having anything to do with exhibits, but it just kind of fell into place, and I like it. So, yeah, so I'll keep working on it as long as I can. So.
And we haven't even talked about signs out for the plants and all that she will be doing. And eventually, when we get the right, I guess, I don't know, we're waiting for the right picture or.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing on that, but Donna has planned so many things, so many different things out there, and we're making attempts to identify everything for people. Amazing how many people that come to the Bear Center actually walk down our sidewalk and they look at each and every little sign of what is this and what is that. There's a lot of interest in ecology in general and up here in this area. So yeah, we're going down the right track, I think, with our ecology hall, and people are pretty wowed. When I go out, one of my jobs is in the spring and through the summer, I deliver the rack cards and the posters and that type of information to businesses and resorts and motels and places like that, restaurants and things. And I try to talk to most of the people when I'm there, at least for a couple of minutes, and ask them if they've ever been to the Bear Center. And every time that they say, yeah, but it's been a few years, I said, you won't recognize it now. You walk in that front door, you're going to say, wow, has this ever changed? And just gotten better and better. And it's thanks to you folks, because your donations help do that for us.
Sure is. It wouldn't happen without you.
Unfortunately, most things cost money in this world, to accomplish. And so our staff and our director is very diligent in watching the purse strings and not wasting money.
Good. Very good.
The amount of things that are just in this Bear Center that were donated is phenomenal. So, and it continues on. So keep those donations coming. Let's get up a couple $100 more here before we get to the halfway mark. And come on, a little bit more, another $100 in the next 10 minutes? Come on, or 5 minutes? It isn't too far.
I don't know how. You know what I'd like to see are big bus loads of kids coming into the center.
5 minutes.
That would be so wonderful.
It would.
I can just see them coming in, and they'd have to spend a long time here. You can't just run through and and look at the bears for a few minutes and then maybe run around a tiny bit. You have to stay here and read the signs, listen to the soundboard. You have to listen to someone speak and tell what they're looking at. And I think that would be so much fun
It
to
really
have the
would.
teachers bring their
It
busload
would.
of kids.
And there's a lot of schools up in this northern half of Minnesota that the teachers or the students have never been here yet. But the kids really, they have a great time. They really do. We've got a great program. Sometimes we get over 100 kids at a time coming up, and they'll have little groups doing different things, and then they switch every so often. Now we've got the education room ready, so we can use that again too.
Oh, it's
they do some
wonderful.
things out on the trail and behind the scenes to see the bears. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's awesome. And we need to instill the truth about the bears to these young people. They won't forget it. And if you've got young kids or you've got young grandkids like you, it is unreal how much their little brains retain these days. And if you keep talking about it, they'll never forget it. So you've got young grandchildren, so you know how that is
They
too.
pick up things so quickly. That's pretty incredible. Their
Yes.
brains are sponges.
Yeah, we have had some young people. I would say 12 and under that I've had conversations with that ask really intelligent questions. Just you know that their brains have been cranking, and that's what we're here for. We want to answer those, dispel the myths with the truth, and have them walk out that door not being afraid of bears, but being excited about bears and wanting to learn more.
Right. Yep, the whole picture of the bear. That's what we want to give the kids, the reality of their situation.
Yeah, and as the new cub room is being designed and as they choose the things that they're going to put in there, education is first and foremost, but it has to be education with fun. Because if the kids aren't having fun, they aren't going to pay attention. So they got to have fun incorporated into it. So it is quite a big challenge to make that decision. But I know we've got a terrific team, not only here, but out on our volunteer World Wide Web out there. People working behind the scenes that you don't ever see. But without them, it wouldn't happen. So.
Now, you've probably talked to Petey more than I have, but I heard him a little bit on the computer, but mine kept dying, so I only heard like every other word. But he seems like a really neat guy, really relates to kids well, and he's very smart.
He is. Actually, I had met Petey earlier this summer because I happened to be at a place where he had been working this past summer, and very impressed with him. And I only saw just a smidgen of him on this microphone earlier, but from our conversations, and I go to him and I ask him questions, where can I find more of this kind of information? He always has the answer. He seems to be knowledgeable so much about this North Woods and loves the bears and the other animals and things around here. He's a great addition to our team here. So I can see him being one of those jack of all trades doing about 100 different things.
Yep, you'll have to do that because that's how it goes here.
When you're on a skinny staff, that's how it is. So I'm hoping keep those donations coming. Let's eke up on this match that we've got. I want to make sure we drag Scott out of the office again and make him come out here with another update. So get him off his buns.
He said he would do a jig. With Morrow.
Oh.
If we made our 30,000.
Yeah, he did. That should be interesting.
I heard that part on my computer.
Oh, that would be
I
fun
would
to
like
see.
to see that.
That would be good. That would be really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the Morrow, he's a neat guy too. All the work he does here. Every time I come to garden, he's here fixing or just updating things.
We can thank him for what you're seeing tonight and what's going on right here. He has put a lot of work into this place in the last couple of weeks. He's been here almost every day and many times all day long, getting this whole thing set up so there wouldn't be any glitches in it. And he's setting it up so that we can actually do online presentations from various places in the Bear Center. I think there's going to be I think there's at least 4 of them that they were talking about. So we don't always have to broadcast from one area. We're going to be able to go to a new area, plug things in, and do it. He isn't going to have to come back and what can I say, recreate this. So he's doing some really good infrastructure for us for our future education, because I could see doing programs in various spots and putting them on our website. And moms with young kids at home, that aren't going to preschool or after school, 3, 4 o'clock, and you got to have something going on with the kids before dinner time. We can hopefully get things out there. So.
Yeah, I miss all the conversations on that kind of thing, because I'm either outside or back in the back room, so I don't hear a lot of the technology discussions.
So that man that watches the tennis ball doesn't update you very well, huh? Okay, Lynn, we're going to get on your case here.
No, when he comes home, he just, that's it.
He's done for the day.
But he's pretty worn out.
Well, he does phenomenal things. I hear the door opening. We don't have an update yet. It's JT coming out, so nothing yet. So she's still working on it. So come on, folks, let's get to that. Well, it'll come to your phone, your little mini TV there. You'll get an update here pretty soon. Let's get up. And let's take that, instead of a $400 donation, let's make it $600. Then we only have $400 to go. So we're going to wait and wait and wait. See what we get here.
I gotta run. I gotta run back there for a minute.
Okay. Well, she's got something going on her little handy screen there, so she's going to go double check it for us. So that lady is still going full speed ahead. It's crazy.
Incredible lady.
I can remember when they stayed all night long. Oh my goodness.
I remember that.
Yeah, that is really hard. I was glad that they took a little break.
And it would be snowing. The last time, I think I stayed with them for a while through the night. It was snowing so hard when they got done that they went outside and it was freezing, snowing, horrible weather.
Yeah. And then they had to clean off their car before they could even go home and probably warm it up. So
he drives so far.
Yeah, this is kind of a crazy winter up here in Ely this year. It really started very, very early, and so I kind of anticipated that. Just watching how Holly and Tasha were behaving and Lucky, and it seemed to me like they went into hibernation a little earlier than last year. I'm not sure on that, but I think maybe they did. It just seemed to me, if the bears are starting to slow down sooner, I'll bet winter's coming sooner. And boy, when it arrived here in October instead of the middle of December, it's here to stay. So.
Yep, the day before the snow came, I had short-sleeved shirt, thin pants on, doing the gardening.
Out there
I think it was Thursday, and Friday the snow fell, so there's one part of the garden I missed. I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, it'll melt, but it never did.
You were just in the nick of time with most of it then.
Yeah, most of it's done. Just a little bit of garden did not get done, but... Well, the snow will be a good blanket for the plants.
It's good insulation for all the plants, just like it is for your septic systems and all the, all the water lines and stuff in town that are under, under the streets and stuff like that. I happen to live in an area where our water lines were really, really high. They weren't buried very far. And we have to let the water trickle in the winter so they don't freeze. If you don't have that insulation of snow and ice to cover that, that frost goes deeper and deeper and deeper. But let's see if we can dig into your pockets a little deeper and deeper and deeper and see who's out there that can help us out. I know probably many of you that are watching have already done your contributions, and man, we thank you more than you will ever know. So if there's some of you out there that can still help us, let's see if we can't kick up and get as much towards that $1,000 match as possible. It's doubling your money So help us get there, please. So what else should we talk about sitting here? Wonder what they're doing back there in the office. I hear some voices back there. I'll bet they're sitting down with their feet up on the desk. What do you think?
I sure like this new entryway. This is so nice. I really, really like the way it looks, and it's easy for people to come in, easy to control traffic so we're not bumping into each other and running over each other.
Well, and it also gives people a wider view of the Bear Center.
Right.
Oftentimes when people come in the front door, that's kind of what grabs them, you know? It just grabs them. It's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. And
do many people sit back at that table back there?
You know, I think we have a new little coffee area. We've got some pop machines and some candy and snack machines back there, and it did get used. I didn't spend a lot of time out here by the front desk this year because I've been back working on the exhibits, but I think that it's something that will get used more and more as we go on. I think hopefully next year we'll get our coffee machines in there. And again, the reason we didn't have the coffee machines might be just simply finances, you know, that we felt like there were more important places to put that. But if kids get hungry or people need something to drink and they have somewhere to sit and do it, they're going to turn right around and walk back into the Bear Center. They're not looking at walking out the door. And it captures their interest and keeps them here a little bit longer. So that was a neat addition in the back of the gift shop.
I do notice they use the picnic area quite a bit. I
see
people
certainly do.
Sitting out there a lot.
Yes,
that's a really nice addition to the Bear Center.
It's really nice. It's a place where we're going to be able to hold some classes and things, you know, no matter if it's raining or not. We've got a nice shelter, and I was surprised the picnic tables got used a lot more than I thought that they would this summer. So obviously the people that come up here, they've got their coolers and their lunch stuff packed, and they just need a place to sit down and enjoy it, and then they'll turn around and come back in and spend, you know, some more time with us. So another thing that's really fun is in the fall, you talked about bringing in buses of kids. It seems like in the fall season, our senior citizens do a lot of their bus trips. And so...
And they are so much fun to have.
Oh, my gosh.
My
yes, they have...
They're so appreciative of everything.
Every little thing. And they want to learn, you know, and they stay here a long time. I can see us using the Ecology Hall and the Hope Learning Center for some extra programs for them. So, and I think with Petey on staff now, he too will be able to help us create some new programs that we can implement as we go along. So,
and those people have had experiences possibly with bears, seeing them or, you know, heard stories about them, and that's what's fun.
When
they tell their stories.
Yes, and oftentimes when you're just talking to someone that's walking around, you might say, "Hi, how are you folks doing? Thanks for coming," you know, and they'll start a conversation. But believe me, if they've had an experience with a bear, they want to tell you. They want to tell you. And so it is interesting to listen to what they have experienced and then be able to share what you or I or the other educators have experienced. I found that that's one of the biggest joys of being at the Bear Center, is that even if I don't know but a little inkling of what Dr. Rogers knows, I probably know more than what most of the people coming in the door know, and they are impressed when you can answer some of their general questions. And sometimes you can share an experience that just opens their eyes, and it's just fun. It's just fun. So.
For all the critters too, for that we have in the back there in the summer. It's really fun for people to touch and see and hear about the critters that we have.
Judy Thone has done an excellent job with our intern program. I really like to give her a lot of kudos because she takes a lot of time in going through all the applicants and picking the best ones that fit into what we have to offer them. And the program just gets better and better and better every year. The quality of what she's able to get those kids to learn in such a short amount of time, and then they can turn right around and educate our visitors. It amazes me, Kids in college, maybe they're a little bigger than little, but they're still sponges, and they can soak in this information and then transfer it to our visitors. And I'll tell you, those kids really, really work hard. They're tasked with all kinds of responsibilities, not just the bear care and not just talking to the people, but they they get asked to do all kinds of little things around here. Might be sweep the floor, might be wash the windows, might be help out at the cashiers with the cashiers when they get long lines and they can put the little bracelets and things on the people. Those kids work, but it seems like they all leave just saying it was such a worthwhile summer for them. So if you're out there and you know anybody that's thinking of going into the research end or the ecology end with animals, and that's where they want to go with their studies in college, check out our website. There's information on how to apply for being an intern. So giving her a plug here. I think she's coming back. Let's hope she's got good news.
Well, we're getting there now. We've got this second $1,000 challenge, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
We got $330 left to go.
Oh, man, you guys. You're doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
And then at 9 o'clock, we got a $100 challenge.
Oh.
So, but we're one challenge at a time. We got $330 to go on the Donna
Nice.
JMac challenge.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you, I didn't know I was getting myself in for when I walked in the front door tonight. But this is really fun, you guys, and you're helping so much, and thank you so much. Yeah, Donna and I really, there's
much
no way.
appreciate it.
I know Lynn says thank you every time he turns around, but that is always on our hearts because we know we couldn't do it by ourselves. And there's, from being here from the get-go as a volunteer first and then as a part-time employee, man, what we have been able to do with such a small core staff. Most other organizations don't run that way. And almost everybody in here is a jack of all trades. So, they pitch in and they help wherever it's needed. I mean, Sharon Harrell, hey, we miss you, Sharon. Sure, we wish you were here. Hope you're doing well. But you'll find her helping out at the cashier station when she's got a spare minute and they need help. And that's just how we work. It's a family, a very dedicated family to making the Bear Center successful forever.
I think one of the most fun things is to run into John and Sharon in the office.
Oh, they're hilarious.
Oh, my goodness.
The banter back and forth between those two. And
I don't know who tortures the best.
I don't know.
They're both good at it.
They are very good at it, and they leave stuff around so that when you open the drawer, something pops out at you. You just never know what they're going to do. But they keep the rest of us in stitches, so they're really, really fun.
They keep everything fun and happy and. Yeah, we do miss Sharon. She always has a story about the bears.
Absolutely.
She's back there with. She knows their personalities. She knows exactly what they're going to do. She knows what to tell about something unusual if that happens, and she's very good.
Yeah, and she loves those bears,
She
like we
does,
all do.
yeah.
The bears here. Our priority, number one, is taking good care of those bears. And then the next thing comes down to educating the world, really. And that's what we're doing. We are educating the world, not just the Northeast Minnesota folks around here. And the people that come in the summertime to visit. But, with this website, we got a really nice new website going to be coming up pretty soon. I think you're all going to enjoy that when you see it. Should be very user-friendly and have a lot of information on there. So,
Good.
And it was fun to see that new game that they were playing on their tablet today for the kids.
That's perfect.
And I'm
That's really
thinking
good.
that's all created by volunteers.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what they said.
We've had a lot of volunteers who have been teachers and been in that line, in that field. So they know what certain age groups want and what kind of trips their trigger, to make them be curious and ask
I
questions.
liked the 3 levels they had on there. That was really good.
Yes.
So if you don't know a lot, you could take the easiest level.
Right.
And then...
Yeah, for different age groups, you start out simple, and when they kind of get that, and they'll probably remember a lot more than we ever would, then they can graduate up to the next one and on up. And even with our cub room, as we're here, we're not only just thinking of the little kids, we're thinking all the way up into the teenage years here. What have we got for those in-between ages? We want to focus on that and create more things that are appealing to them.
Right. The teenagers that are used to gadgets and internet and all that stuff. Like, how do you keep them interested in bears? Real live bears.
So we got people working on that. They're sharing their ideas. They'll whittle them down. They'll put them in the funnel and come out the bottom with the right ones. And then as soon as we have the funding available, then we can go to work on creating that new, realistic, cool den in here and other things.
That'll be nice to change the den.
That'll
be good.
It's going to be
awesome.
awesome.
Been great. But it'll be nice to have a new one.
It served us well. This was our 11th summer.
Yep.
And so, it's had a lot of use. It is a well-worn cub room. So it's very overdue a little bit for its makeover.
Right.
So I'm so glad that this year all the money you're giving is going to go to the education for the kids. And it's kind of the crowning glory. You got to reach those kids,
Yeah. I remember that den being so hard to clean. I'd try to vacuum there at night after everyone was gone, and there's that middle ridge there that you'd have to squeeze down and then try to get the vacuum going.
I should have had a camera. Okay, I'm hoping maybe she's got more news.
I do. I have more news. We are we're down to only $65 left. Now that's a nice dinner for a couple of people. One nice dinner, right? $65. And okay, hang on. Okay, we got to get those $65.
Yes, got to get it.
Okay, and
keep it rolling.
Our curator says she's got $100 out there on a match starting at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And hey.
Cool.
Yep.
So we've got to get the 1,000 first, and as soon as we get the 1,000, then we can kick it over and start on that $100 match. So $65. It's a dinner out for 2. Most any restaurant you go to, you're going to spend $20, $25. By the time you get your drinks in there and your tax, man, you've spent $65. So
it's a cup of coffee. $25 for coffee.
At $5 or $6 a cup of coffee. That's amazing.
Have to forego,
right? Yep, that's all you'd have to forgo to make this match go to the full 1,000 for us. I don't know, but I don't think so.
We can hardly kick you out.
We're gonna. Are we getting $65?
We're not there yet?
No, almost $65 is all we've got to go. We're almost there. $65,
Incredible.
Dollars. So you've been up too long, Scott. Dollars. That's cute. Yeah, there we are. Just $65. So is there anybody out there that would forgo one dinner out to help us reach that $1,000? And even if there's 2 people out there that can split that in half, we'd accept that too.
That's $32.50.
$32.50 each. I have my mathematician over here.
Then it'd be $16.25.
$16.25 if it's 4 people. You do $16.25.
What if it's
Most people are going to have
$8.25.
Oh, dear. Now you're really splitting hairs.
Out there with $8.12.
Come on, folks, help us out. Let's get to that $1,000. I can't stand the thought that having Lynn here and Donna before me, that they would have beat me. Come on, guys. We got to get there. We got to at least match the bear man and hit that. $8.12 times 8 people. Yeah. Oh, come on. We got, what do we got here? Yeah, I know. We've got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Let's go. Pick up the pace. Let's go. Okay, we can stand up for the rest of it. Come on. If I'm going to stand.
Do we need to call Lynn?
Find out if is he watching? We can do this without him.
We can.
Girls rule sometimes, you know. Girls rule. Yeah. Well, in my family, girls rule. We have a lot more girls in the extended family than we have boys, so I can use that safely.
In my family, the girl did kind of rule.
Ooh.
5 brothers.
Ooh.
And I was probably the worst one.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Did they protect you and look after you? Or did they beat you up?
Well, let's see. How did it go? They had to protect themselves.
Keep it going.
They really had to protect themselves from me.
7 minutes. Keep going. Keep it coming. Come on, folks. Keep it coming. So they did what? What'd they do to you?
Oh, they didn't do anything to me.
Were they good to you?
Oh, they were very good.
Protective
of
their little
brothers,
sisters?
Yeah.
Ah.
But, it was good to grow up with boys because that made me appreciate the outdoors because that's all we did was climb trees and do all the outdoor things, animals, everything.
Wow. I grew up in the country.
Good.
Grew up in the country with woods all around us.
That's
Man, I was outdoors all the time. Had the dog and a stick and play in the pond and the creek that would go through and walk the woods with the dogs and I was an outdoors girl from day one and been a Northwoods girl basically all my life.
That's a good way to grow up. When
I moved up here 9 years ago, it's like I felt like I was going home. I had been coming to Ely since the 1970s, so pretty familiar with what it was like up here. And I love winter, and I love snow. And I know you think I'm crazy, but I do. So this might be one of my favorite winters up here. So come on, we got about 5 or so minutes left. We need that bell to ring over there on JT's phone to tell her we got an update. Only $65. Oh, I'm just amazed. Amazed at what these people do for us.
I'm amazed too. Yeah, that's
we're so
incredible.
Grateful. We are so grateful to you. This is amazing.
And we will do wonderful things with what you've donated. Believe me, I've seen some of the cub room plans, a few of them, and I think, oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be such a wonderful addition.
You've seen more than I have then, so.
Just heard. And I saw that game. I knew that's going to be a big hit.
I don't think the plans are final yet, but we are in the process of putting ideas together. We made it! Yay! Hooray! Breaking news, everybody! Breaking news! You got to the goal! Hooray!
We're early, right?
Hooray! Thank you. You
guys made it,
I feel so good.
Before,
Yes.
Lynn had a little more pull with Donna, but you know what? I think it might have been Judy and I.
Yeah.
But great job, you guys. Great job out there. Thank you so much. We want to again thank the people that are really putting together Give to the Max Day for us, and it's some names out there that I'd like to be able to say, but I'll give some abbreviations, of names. It's just our people that are in charge of Give to the Max and helping out in setting this whole program up. You know who you are, and you're looking at us right now out there. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
And thank you to the donors that have good, strong faith in what we're going to do.
Yep, absolutely.
And how we're going to spend that dollar that you're giving us. Because integrity is everything.
It is.
Integrity is everything.
It absolutely is.
And transparency is everything. Is it? It really is. Because that means that if we're transparent, we have nothing to hide. And what does that build?
Trust.
Trust. And
Sounds like
that.
trust-based research.
Yes,
Doesn't that
trust,
sound like?
It does. It's educational. But I'm wondering if we can't move our thermometer pretty soon. And I'm going to ask you guys to text Judy. Because Judy can see her phone. Honestly, I can't see mine because I don't have my reading glasses.
And every time, I talked earlier, and some of you may have heard, I talked about the Bear Educator volunteers here, and I talked about the interns, and I talked a lot about all the help we have here.
Yes,
okay?
Here. Physically here.
Yeah, physically here, that come here and work and work hard for us and make us the place to visit. But every time I hold up my TV, as Scott calls it, or my big phone, and say, hey, one of our co-producers out there, wherever you are, give me a text, asking.
Yes.
There are real people out there. We're not just waving this for nothing. They're volunteers. They're
all over the country.
Right, and they're up here. They're up, just like we are. They've been up. It's been a long day for them, too. It's
been a real long day for them.
Some are from the East Coast.
That's right.
Some are from the South.
Some are from the South, yeah. And some right here, in the state of Minnesota.
Some in the state of Minnesota.
And some of them have been on social media, our social media page, and they've been working behind the scenes. Nobody has seen them. You haven't heard from them. They haven't been standing up here talking like us, whatever. But they're at that computer. They're watching the numbers, watching social media, putting on Pond Chat. I've seen some great videos going on Pond Chat, some fun ones. They had the merry-go-round going. It's a cub run.
Oh, nice.
That you might see in a den, a big brush pile den. I mean, I saw some good stuff going, and that's all behind the scenes. And they're supporting this.
And thank you so much. You just can't say thank you enough.
No.
And sometimes too many thank yous don't mean a lot. So what we're going to say is one heartfelt thank you.
And now another $100 match.
We've got $100 match.
$100 match, and I have
$100 match. How cool!
And I have the liberty of giving the name out.
We do.
I have asked. I stepped forward and said, I'm going to ask this person if I can say, hey, can I say who it is? Because I got a story to tell anyhow about
You do?
I do. Yeah.
Let us have it.
It's our curator.
Our bear curator?
Our bear curator. She wants to be here.
You mean the Irish gal from Michigan?
Yeah.
Well, if that's, yeah. Sharon Harold has got $100 out there. Let's match that.
Who's going to be the first one to match it?
Yeah, $100, and let's.
Has she challenged anybody to do it?
Well, she's talking about those Bear Educator volunteers, the folks that come here that know our four bears. And I got to tell you.
So she's challenging some particular people.
She is. She is.
Wow.
But, of course, even if you're not one of those people, it's okay.
Yes. In fact, it'd be kind of fun to get in ahead of them.
That's right.
It would.
And I'll tell you, if she was here, I'll tell you how she got the money for those food bags that she did at Lily Pad Picnic Time out on the pavilion area. That was really fun. And it was an experience for the interns as well. And we auctioned off those food bags,
Yes, we did.
And we had a food bag for each, and it was a grocery bag, okay, paper bag. And we had, the interns did this. They put the names on it, and they put some cute little decorations on, to match. And so the interns had never done this before. They, we're trying to teach them what it's like to work for your money. So the interns were out there. We had 4 interns. We had the bags. And Sharon's out there in the pavilion there. And we had the lily pad people, the bonfire thing.
Right.
And it wasn't the best night for a bonfire, but we had a lot of enthusiasm. So it was kind of like an auction. Okay, here goes Ted's bag. Ted's okay. What? Because you had to bid up that bag, and if you got to that bag, you got to make sure Ted got it.
Right.
Okay, so you could be a part of that. Yeah, you could be a part of that. So, anyhow, there was a little lull in the action. And she says, hey, come on, give me the money. just like that. Come on! And all of a sudden, Ted's bag went for about $400, just like that.
Wow.
I mean, it was like, so, all right, this is for Sharon. Come on, let's get the $100 here.
Come on.
Yeah, let's, come on.
Match it up right now.
Well, I did that for Sharon. You know, she's, you know, Sharon and I work together a lot. You know, she teaches the interns a lot and the Bearheads a lot, and she's taught me a lot too about the bears.
I think some of Lynn has rubbed off on you tonight.
Well, you know, well, yeah. So let's.
It's kind of nice to have a low pressure environment here.
Yeah, let's get that $100. Let's get that $100.
Let's get that 100. Let's get that 100. Because Judy's standing up now.
Going twice.
Yeah.
Come on.
And you know,
who's keeping track of it?
And well, we're all here. I don't know.
Well, we can't see the money coming in.
Hey,
we might be there already.
We could be there
Texas,
already.
how we doing on that $100 match?
Yeah, hey, Texas, yeah. So, and you know, I tell you, the technology, and of course
I just felt a vibration.
Well, pull it up.
No, you better look.
I don't have it yet.
I told you I can't see.
Well, maybe someone. I don't have it.
Well, it is actually an update. We're sitting at $25,687. 86% of our goal. 86%. So that means I can move this up to 86%.
Phenomenal.
Look at that. Look at that go.
Almost 3 hours to go.
Yeah.
Come on. We don't want to leave now. We can